Good morning, everyone. This is Jeff Kennedy with Leading RE. Thanks for making time to meet with us today for the next installment on the Brave New World webinar series. Today we have Outbound Engine. We're joined by Keaton, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about leading during adversity, how you guys can stand out right now. So a little bit of logistics first. We're going to record this. You'll get a link with the recording probably Monday. Probably 10 or 15 minutes of Keaton and I talking, some slides, and at the end we'll have time for Q&A. If you have a question in the meantime, go ahead and use the little chat function, type in your question, and we'll try to work it in as we're going through everything. Again, my name is Jeff Kennedy. I am the Director of Sales for Leading RE. One of my functions here is to help co-manage our vendor program solutions group. We go out and find the best vendors in the world or in the country and then bring them to market. So we're looking for people that have been vetted and have really cool, innovative programs, and of which is Outbound Engine. So, Keaton, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Keaton Duckworth. Excuse me. And again, thank you, Jeff, for the introduction. Also, thanks to Leading RE for everything they did to get this all together and active. To open this up, everyone involved in this conversation right now, I'm sure that we can all agree that right now there is someone, a licensed realtor, in or around your area that has just transacted with a buyer or seller. Certain things don't change that, and we'll explain and show you over the next 15 minutes exactly why that is and how they're able to do it. So again, my name is Keaton Duckworth, account executive for and throughout the firm. The 8 years prior to me being here, I've got a very strong background in SEO, pay-per-click, and things of that nature. Now, the three things that we're going to cover are going to be social distancing, for obvious reasons, how it is that you and or your teams are going to be able to stay top of mind, respond, and adapt in spite of the changes that we're all going through and not used to, most certainly. From there, we'll have Q&A.
Hey, Keaton.
Yes.
Real quick, for those on the call, I mean, we're going to have some people that obviously either know of or are already using Outbound Engine. But for those that are on the call that may not have any context for what you guys and your company does, can you give us like a 15, 30-second kind of high-level overview of just
Sure.
Of the product that you offer?
Yes, thank you. So in short, we are, to this day and for about the last 9 to 9.5 years, the only high-end custom turnkey solution for the entire industry. So what that means is, instead of having one company for emails, another company for website, another company for this, under one roof, we do everything for you. No CRM software tools. You don't have the time to use them. We do it all for you. Emails, website, online reviews, social media, word of mouth referrals, list goes on.
Perfect.
So with that being said, with the changes that we're looking at, and these are all statistics that are going to provide confidence in what you guys already know. The simple way to put it is, every single day that moves forward, more and more people are online, and more people are using social media. So more specifically, users spending more time just in the last 30 days on social media is 32%, which is taking into account the totality of people that were already there doing it. That's huge. The increase in overall internet traffic over the last 60 days is nearly 20% at 18. Increase specifically 50% individuals using messaging through Facebook, and that's just in the last 30 days. So all of these people, buyers, sellers, investors, and the like, they're all stuck at home. Everyone has been at home, had access to a computer and their family, but they're still looking at their phone because it's the easiest thing to use, and that's what your clients are doing right now. Now, what you can see here, we've tracked the overall engagement of both buyers and sellers via the search terms and volume therein. And more specifically, you'll notice on the left, Inman March survey respondents stated that buyers and sellers in their market are still cautiously proceeding, and that is by 57%. Cautiously proceeding. There's always going to be certain things you need, whether it be food, water, and of course shelter. That's a home. So what we've done as a basis for comparison is we've measured the total searches for social distancing, and you'll notice it's represented as a immediate spike. In other words, indicative of something that is a trend or temporary. COVID doesn't last forever. Social distancing doesn't last forever. However, on the right, you'll notice virtual staging. Okay? And the difference therein is a steady increase or incline over that same long period of time, indicative of, yes, a market change, but one that's here to stay and consistently growing as time moves forward. So moving right along, the primary challenge, again, whether it's an individual agent or whether it's a broker owner or a team lead or a mix therein, the true challenge is, how do I stay top of mind in all of the areas that it takes me to stay top of mind while still having time to do my job? Driving from a showing to another client, to a network, and then face-to-face and transacting. Unfortunately, the answer is really not that easy, as there's only so much time in the day, and nobody can change that. So what we do is as follows. In the benefits that you're all already aware of properly nurturing and properly branding and properly doing all these things in the appropriate way through the appropriate channels is for these benefits. We've all heard the stats before on referrals. 90% of people trust brand recommendations from friends and family. 71% of consumers are more likely to purchase based on social media referrals versus any other. 84% of consumers reported always or sometimes taking action based on personal recommendations. So in short, you guys know better than I do that referrals and repeat clients are the preferred means of transactions versus any other type. So in order to do that, whether it be as an individual or a team, it takes certain things. To break it down into 5 steps, it's like this. Maintain consistent communication on the channels that matter. Well, the channels that matter are now plentiful, and they're all in a pocket's reach. That's a lot of work. In addition to this, while you're maintaining that consistent communication and on the appropriate channels, you also need to make sure the way that you're engaging with them is allowing you to share your expertise and providing them value. Beyond that, while you're doing the 2 prior simultaneously, you need to make sure that you're able to capitalize on those efforts and focus on the high potential prospects. There's no sense in doing all that work just to contact the wrong client or the right client at the wrong time after one of your competitors did. With all of those things going on and everything else that we've not mentioned, you of course want to make sure that you're not creating redundant measures or steps and avoiding, and not avoiding wasted efforts on whether it be lead gen or paid searches or other avenues that necessarily would not be required of you if there was somehow able to properly nurture your entire database, every name and number, and your entire sphere of influence consistently the right way every single time. An effort to make sure that all of those things are done, we do them for you in order to make sure that there is as little work, if any, on the broker or agent side. We are going to track all of the engagement from platform to platform, and I'll touch on that a bit more here in a couple of slides. I am then going to take that motivated buyer or seller, and I'm going to shove them straight to the front screen of your cell phone. You click that button one time, you are now on the telephone with that client instead of a competing agent or worse yet, firm.
So Keaton, go back to that slide for me real quick. The things that jump out to me there, and I'm thinking outside of like being agnostic. Like some people are using Outbound Engine, some people are not. Some people might, some people won't. It doesn't matter. This is good advice in general, no matter what platform you're using. These 5 kind of keys or whatever. And what jumps out to me is the word consistent. So many times I've talked to people. One of the things that Outbound Engine does is that they do the social media postings for the agents. And I know you're going to get to this probably later on, but it's relevant now.
Sure.
So, agents can do that on their own, of course. You can post every day or every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 o'clock on whatever you want. You can do that. The reality is that we won't. And the reality is that if you don't do it consistently, if you just do it once and then forget about it or once a month or whatever, you might as well not do it at all. And so the consistency is one of the main reasons you'd want to use a company like Outbound Engine, is because they'll do it for you. You can set it, you can change it, you can customize it, but it's done for you, and the consistency is done. The other part that's important that I saw down here was being efficient. So don't do that duplicate effort. When you have everything in one kind of system like he's talking about, you don't have any duplication. Everything's super efficient. And right now, as things are unknown, we don't know what the next 90 days holds or the next 6 months. It could bounce back and be better than ever. It could be the same, could be worse. We just don't know. But the smart people aren't pulling back from all of their spending, but they are being smart about their spending. And so now's not the time to pay for things twice. So to be efficient and kind of cut the corner. So I just wanted to kind of bring that into the conversation.
Yeah, well said. And to place validity behind those words, and again, thank you. I speak with brokers and agents and everything in between Monday through Friday, every week of the year. It is more than just a consistent theme wherein speaking to somebody, let's say they've been in the industry for 10 years, I ask them the total number of contacts that they have in their CRM or their database, right? Let's say it's 5,000. You then go to their Facebook, the total number of connections is 150. There's a disparaging difference there. And the same thing applies to the posts and the content. These avenues are free to use, but that's assuming that you have the free time to use them at the best way possible. And that's exactly what we do. So thank you for that.
And that brings up one more point I want to make, because I want this to be more conversational than kind of presentation just for everybody. You bring up a great point. There's 2 folds to what a company like Outbound Engine does. One of it is the consistency of posting for you, the places you want to go, when you want to go. That by itself is a win. The other part that's just as big of a deal, but gets kind of forgotten sometimes, is coming up with the content. And I know you got a slide probably for this too, but if you're a busy agent and you're running around and you're signing contracts and selling and listing and showings and all the stuff that you guys do, right? Who has time to sit down and write a blog post and really get creative when your brain is go, go, go? Maybe you have a team, maybe somebody else writes it for you, but it's kind of nice to have a company that has writers on staff that write about your kind of area. You get to pick what the topic is. So the content is done, the posting is done, it's in the tone that you want it to be in. Like there's just, if you have the luxury of having budget dollars, it's nice to have that, to have something like this for your sphere of influence. All right, now I'll stop talking.
No, you're good. Anytime. Thank you for that. And yes, here in a couple of slides, I'm actually going to give you guys a brief glimpse into an actual live client and what we do for them. So what we've covered thus far, referrals. I'm sure everyone involved is aware of the importance therein of referrals, making sure that it's part of the strategy, especially as it pertains to the changing environment within the real estate industry and business. Added value consistently to stand out in today's distracted world, especially with everybody in certain states that are on lockdown. They've got all their children, whether it's 2 or 6, more or less, They're all under one single roof, Monday through Sunday, and it doesn't stop, at least not yet. These guys are stressed, but they still need a home. They still need to buy one, or they still need to sell one. That doesn't change. Build your online credibility so people searching for you can find the best you. And the best you is the one that's there. More often than not, whenever I make a search, even specifically an agent or broker's name and their brokerage, there's no, for example, Google Business Profile that will come up. And I'll show you that here in a couple of slides. How Outbound Engine works is very simple. Instead of explaining it here, I'm going to explain it here. I would like to be explicitly clear. We are the only firm to manage all platforms and profiles under one roof. We outsource nothing. I cannot stress the following enough. Anyone with a website right now, if I go to your website, yes, your analytics report shows that you had a visitor. That's correct. But when I leave your website, where do I go? And the answer is, you have no idea, because the company that's hosting your website is not the same company doing your social media. Also not the same company doing your emails, so on and so forth. Because we do everything under one roof at a high-end level, I track the entire chain of engagement of every name and number in your database and sphere of influence for you. Our AI and machine learning will then quantify those steps that the client has taken. Once they're ready to be contacted, I'm going to send them straight to the front screen of your cell phone. You click that button, you're on the telephone with that client. No other firm provides this, at least not thus far. Now, in terms of Q&A, before we hop into this, I'm actually going to switch screens for you, as I had promised to do the following. Bear with me. So what I'm going to do is, for about 90 seconds, give you guys a preview on not all the services we provide, in fact, less than half. But this will give you a good idea nonetheless, and I would recommend scheduling a one-on-one demonstration at your convenience, and we'll accommodate. So here, you're going to...
I want to jump in for a second, just to let everybody know. Actually, go ahead and do this first. I'll say it at the end. Sorry.
No, not a problem. So we maintain API agreements with all 72 search engines and listing sites, okay? That means that our software works with theirs, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is explain what we're looking at while it conducts the scan. I've just taken this, and this is just a random, realtor I found online. I've taken their information, and I've cross-referenced it against all 72 search engines and listing sites. And what you'll notice is your guys are going to be familiar with these top 6. That'll never change. But there's a total of 72. Your clients use all of them. Unfortunately, more often than not, individuals are registered in less than 10% of them. Of the ones that are registered, it's inaccurately so. What happens because of that is this. I've searched that client on Google, like I said earlier, the name and the brokerage. There's blue links on the left, but over here on the right, there's absolutely nothing. Everything is done through cell phones nowadays. We expect pictures, whether we realize it or not. So, to make this very simple, step 1, my team goes in for you. We accurately register you across the board, just like my client Krista here. Same type of search, name, brokerage, and you'll notice the difference. Headshot, logo, Google reviews, website, HAR reviews, Facebook reviews, and the list goes on. Here's Krista on Google. Here's Krista on Yahoo, which is the same as Krista on Bing. Reviews, headshot, which is also the same as Krista via email. Consistency, which is also the same as Krista on her mobile website, which is also the same as Krista on her Facebook business with her over 1,000 connections, which is also the same as Krista on LinkedIn, and the list continues. But for time's sake, all of these platforms, and of course all the other things that have gone unmentioned because of time, we track all of it. We do it for you. And instead of giving you a spreadsheet of ones and zeros, leaving you to interpret the results, I send that person when they're ready to be sent to your phone. You click the button, and you're now on the telephone with that client instead of a competing agent or firm. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen back to Q&A, and I'll turn it over to you guys.
I've got a question. Yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat function, and I'll read them out. But in the meantime, if people are listening and we're getting ready to end the session here, what would you leave them with? Make it agnostic, so it's not Outbound Engine specific. We know that you're a champion for them, work for them. They have great products, and obviously, we're going to have a call to action at the end where you'll have his information. You can reach out. They can do probably an analysis and show you where the holes are and what they can help you with. So that's great. But take yourself out of that for a second and just put on your Switzerland hat. If you were to look at an agent and give them the 3 ways, as the title of this is how can real estate professionals stand out, right? 3 takeaways. What are the big blocks that they can start to do right now?
So number 1, digital footprint. If there are profiles that are especially free, which the vast majority of them are, that are unclaimed or claimed but inaccurately so, fix them. Your clients use them. Regardless of age, they use them. Number 2, reviews, 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 reviews. Do not be shy or hesitant on generating or asking for reviews from your database and most certainly prior clients. Third and finally, I would tell you to make sure that whatever it is that you are able to do before you came into this meeting, that you take a look at the overall scope of outgoing marketing dollars for what you're getting. And I would make sure that whether it's 1 company or 10 companies, that you're getting and are shown in all the places that your clients are. That is what I would do. Those 3 things.
So great, that's awesome. It's really what we needed. If everyone has not everybody, hopefully you have a budget. It could be $10,000 a month. It could be $1,000 a month. It could be $100 a month. Is there social media kind of marketing that they can do at any budget, or is there a kind of a minimum that you think that should be spent to be successful?
Mm-hmm. So the minimum that should be spent in effort to attain success would be $199. That would be depending on the company that you're speaking to. Obviously, in this case, I can only speak to my firm, Outbound Engine. $199 is definitely going to be what you look at in terms of minimum outgoing for taking care of the core things that are either not taken care of right now and or not taken care of at the level in which we would.
Got it. That's perfect. $199, I mean, even when things are tight, $199 is very affordable. And I know you guys can offer more for more. So if you're interested, how could somebody get a hold of you or your sales team if they wanted to reach out and do an analysis?
Mm-hmm. So you're able to reach out to us. Sean Stone, are you still on the call?
I am here. Sorry, I'm unmuting myself. Yep.
Sure. So go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we've got your contact information that should be on that slide deck, I believe. But we do have a partner page, Outbound Engine. I believe it's / LRE or LR leading. I can't remember the exact website, but we're able to get in touch with our sales team multiple ways through the website, and or we can get some contact information right now, whatever would be easiest for people that are on.
What's your email address, Sean?
My email address is going to be SEAN Stone STONE at outboundengine.com.
Perfect. So if you guys have questions, just email Sean. He'll forward you or wherever you need to go. And we know everyone's busy. Even though we're stuck at home, we're all busy trying to figure out what to do and keep building our business. So we thank everyone for your time today. Thanks, Keaton. Thanks, Sean. And thank you all attendees. Be safe and have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye now.
Thank you.